Hello, loves. How are we doing? Okay, we're getting into a reading about what your spirit team would like you to do in a twin flame connection where you are in separation. I was called to do this video because whenever the moon is full, I think about my masculine, and I think many of you could feel the same way. So let me know in the comments if that is you as well. And we'll get into this oracle message, which is what your spirit team would like you to do in this separation period. Okay. So we'll go through the spread here. The center is, of course, what we're going to be focusing on for the duration of the reading, or it could be what you are focusing on. We have the past here, what we've learned, lessons learned, in intuitive thought processes here, introspection, spirit team messages straight from the spirit team closest to you, and then the future outcome, what we can look forward to. Okay. And right as I said that, what we can look forward to, I've got here the field of plenty, which is about things being manifested. So the magician is all about manifesting. And this here is like that 10 of Pentacles. It's reaping the reward. It's harvest time. Okay, so I do think that many of you are focused on where you're headed. You're focused on your 10 of Pentacles, okay? So here in the center, we have this innocence of the inner child. And this is all about that past position, right? The south position. We're drawing a compass here. So this is you focusing on the lessons that you've learned from this connection. This is about you saying, okay, here's what I know, here's what I've seen, and here's what that has done. So we've tapped in a little bit in this channel about, relationships triggering somewhat of an abandonment wound, or could also be just like lessons in what we deserve in love, right? Like I know now that this is what I deserve and this is what I do not. Okay, so we're learning a lot here. What does this have to do? Interesting. So now it's like we're one step ahead of the game, right? So when we began, let's focus on the south. Now we're on the south, let's focus on the west. So we're understanding that where we need to focus here is, yes, on abandon. I don't want to say we want to focus on our abandonment wounds, but we're focusing on what we have learned. And now we are attributing that to our goals here. This is something we've already done. We've already said, okay, I see now that my position in this person's world was not appreciated. And so I turned inward. I turned in towards myself, and I began to understand that, okay, maybe what I need to be focused on is my own goals. Now, if this is the East, I'm going to cry. Okay. This is just interesting. Okay, so we're one step ahead of the game, and we know it. Okay, advancement. This is the war bonnet. We have earned our stripes. This is a tiger who has earned her stripes here. Also, with the eagle feathers on the bonnet, the war bonnet, it's like each of those feathers took a lot to earn, right? It's like you have to prove yourself in order to get one feather. So when somebody has this many feathers to make a bonnet out of it, it's quite significant. Okay, so it's like we understood the assignment, we learned our lessons, we attributed those lessons to our own goals, and now we're like, yep, I'm ready to run. I'm ready to go. Okay. Like chariot card here. Okay, so what does our spirit team have to say about this? It could definitely be time to tell our story here with the storyteller. So historically, these are people that went from tribe to tribe and sort of shared current events and news. All right. So storytellers are a big deal, right? It's like the legends are spoken from truth. Okay. So it's like there's truth, but we tell it in such a way that we can be the villain, we can be the victor. So we want to be careful of how we tell this story. But I feel that, whatever it is that you have gone through with a person is a huge part of your destiny, and it was meant to propel you in this direction, okay? Which we know about twin flames. So moving forward here into the future, we want to take things a lot more lightly, okay? Have some humor when it comes to the things that we need to do, the tasks that we need to um, take action on. We want you to be having fun while this is going on, okay? And we have tapped into that a lot on this channel. Spirit wants you to have more fun. Okay, so let's dive into a different deck here. So we begin with the upper world on the bottom of the deck. You are very connected to your sources, to your spirit team. They are connected to you. And yeah, they have a lot of love for you here. Okay, so rest assured, Your spirit team has had your back this whole time. All right. So whatever it is that you are building, and I do feel that you are building something huge here, spirit has got your back, and they understand that this twin flame journey or this relationship that you are in separation from has been very painful, and it has brought up abandonment, but it has also brought up lessons that now allow you to tell your story with a bigger valor, with more judication. Okay. Yeah, judication. Interesting. The crows are about karmic law here. Wow. And I see that they are both focused this way. We have the wolf and the crow focusing on your goals, your introspection, looking within. Yeah, you understand that what goes up must come down, but you're also understanding the manifestation process of it. So it's like you can dictate where energy flows. And that's exactly where spirit wants you here. So what lessons have we learned when we decided to focus on our goals? Interesting. Wow. 14. Didn't we just see a 14? Oh, 1 and 3 is 4. So we got 1114 here. Interesting. So we found out perhaps in this love connection, which we just did your tarot portion, judgment came through with the devil. Also, we saw 5 of swords, 7 of swords, 3 of swords. So it's like you understand that this situation that broke your heart, that sort of stabbed you in the back here, it's like you transformed it. You transmuted the energy here and you made it turn in your favor. This is really great. Oh my God. And so you gave it away. Yeah. That's exactly what I was getting in the tarot portion. It's like, okay, this person could have walked away from you and you said, okay, as you wish, right? And this is a 5. So we had 1, 3, 1, 4, and now 5. So again, and then we got 9, 10. So you put one foot in front of the other, you're going slowly but surely, but you might feel that way, but it's not that way. With this war bonnet advancement, this is like the chariot card. You're not actually going as slow as you think that you are. Okay, so with the storyteller here, we've got 2 cards. The beloved and the upper world came out together. Again, your spirit team, this is spirit team messages. And here it is, your spirit team loves you. Okay, and they want you to tell your story. So you could be in a position here of podcasting or posting in your own right, somewhere on some sort of platform. And spirit wants that for you. Okay, they want you to share your story as it pertains to what this is. So it's interesting because somehow this whole situation where, you were willing to give this person the world, you were willing to reach out to them and make sure they were okay. You were willing to give your heart-centered focus to this person. They built a wall up, said no. You turned around and said, okay, as you wish, I will go ahead and go this way. And there's something about that that is a huge part of your like destiny here. Okay, so when we have take things more lightly, we have the standstill as well. So something about taking your time. Yeah, you could feel as though you move slowly, but they don't want you to feel this way. Okay, so we've got the hummingbird here, the tree, and the vision quest. So the tree is about groundedness, which we see there with the standstill, right? We want you grounded because what you have to do in this world is too great. It's too massive of a shift. You're a shift changer, right? You know how to transmute energy now. You know how to take the dark and turn it into light. You know how to see the darkness and light up the candle so that someone else has the way forward. You understand this now because of this situation at hand here, which turns you into this sort of beautiful shaman here, the shaman. So see how they're facing each other. Your mission and your past situation face each other with this divine mirror here and turns you into this all-seeing, all-knowing, abundant creator. I'm going to keep these. I like those. Okay, so your past and your present and your future all face each other here. because of how you handled it. You went within with that vision quest, right? You took your time, you sat still, and I think you are going to continue to do that because it's an always evolving process. Okay, so you understand this, and you know now that the way forward is through. And they want other people to know this too. And it's like you are the best person for the job, is what I'm getting. Okay, there's a certain deck that I'm seeing in my mind's eye. Sorry, this one. Yeah, at the very bottom we have the void. That's a huge deal. This is spirit talking to you. Okay, you understand the void. You understand a quiet stillness within yourself in order to manifest. That's kind of what this has taught you. Wow. Abundance is yours. This is crazy. Yeah. As you sit still and you manifest from a place of learning and transmuting lessons, this abundance becomes yours to reap. Okay. And I think you know this because we've got this advancement, which is right where I put that abundance. You're going right towards your goals. You are not stopping for anyone here. Yeah, sovereignty. Doing this on your own. That's what you learned. You learned that you can stand 10 toes down in your own pathway with your own light as your own guiding light, and it's you and spirit doing this together. Because spirit has taught you that you are divinely protected and you are beautiful in and of yourself. And when I see this beauty card, yes, we think that you are beautiful, and of course we want you to love what you see in the mirror. But the beauty, in how I perceive it, is like the beauty way, which I believe is Navajo. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the beauty way is a way of being. It is a way of projecting yourself. It's a way of being one with nature. Okay, it's the way that nature takes. And when you get into that flow, that is the beauty way. And everything, every step along the way is perfectly laid out for you, and you no longer have to question your footing. You no longer have to question, what is my next step? You know this because you trust that spirit has got your back here, and you make moves. You do clearly make moves, but you make those moves understanding that you will not be led astray. Spirit always has your back here, and you're doing this with grace. That's a huge part of it, is the way that you move is with spirit at your back, your front, your side, under and above. Okay, you don't question your spirit team anymore. Yeah, because you had to crawl yourself out of the depths of hell all by yourself here with this sort of strength card, and it awakened a wisdom within you that you no longer question. Okay, that's what I'm getting. They see that, spirit can guide us, and spirit can leave us breadcrumbs, and spirit can say, hey, go this way, trust me. But it is us who have the willpower to say, okay, spirit, yes, I will do this. Yes, I will take the action. Okay. Okay. Wow. In the future. So if some of you clicked on this for the twin flame journey, here's what we have to look forward to. Extreme pleasure. Okay, spirit is funny. So we want to take things a little lightly here. We want to stand still when this happens. So someone could come in and burst our heart wide open here. And that opening of the heart space, that, Ace of Cups type vibe, is going to make us want to get into this certain hot and heavy energy, right? So they do want you to take your time with this. And when we have the storyteller here, it's like, okay, if this person comes back into your life, there needs to be a conversation. Okay, this is what you taught me. This is how it pertains to my mindset. This is my perception of the situation as a whole. This is how I had to give it all away. I had to essentially say, no, no, thank you, and powerhouse myself in order to go on living, so to speak. Wow. Split the deck on attraction. But when the moon is full, for my situation, which is why I started this reading, when the moon is full or when I am thinking of who I want to be with, it is you. And that's why we resonate with twin flames, right? Because we feel that this is the person that is meant for us. We can't let go of them. But we had no choice but to learn the lesson and continue on forward anyways. And we had to find this balance sort of within ourselves here with just us and spirit. And it was this balancing act that did not feel good at the time. And there's balance again with the standing people, the trees, right? Giving and receiving. We have the Six of Pentacles on both sides of your tarot reading. And there's that hunger. Look at that. I have this hunger to be balanced with you, for your side to be on the level and my side to be on the level, right? What is that called? The justice scale. You on one side and me on the other, and have it be balanced. That's what I want here. That's what I hunger for. But in the meantime, I'm not going to be a sitting duck. I'm not going to sit and wallow. I'm going to use this whole scenario to propel me forward in my own personal growth here. And there's that tree trunk, right? It's like I'm using this scenario to make me stronger so that I can pursue and excel in all of the things that I feel that I am meant to do. And that's exactly right. Okay, so let's see if we can tap more into this story here. We'll go around the circle a couple more times and get some animals. Okay, so what do we have about this karmic law and these lessons that we've learned that are in the center here of our reading? Compassion of the heart. Yeah, this heart keeps coming up, and it's interesting because in Oracle, there's very few cards that have love, like actual romantic love. This is one of them, and I feel that that one is one of them. And when you think of love here, you think of either the past or you think of your spirit team. You don't think of this person when you think of receiving love, and that's a problem. Okay, we can have compassion, but I feel as though we did not necessarily receive compassion from this person. We had to do this ourselves and with our ancestors. See that? Ancestors. And there's that moon. So it's like when I don't know about you guys, but when I think of my masculine and it's a full moon, I always go outside and I think, are we looking at the same moon? Are they thinking the same thing I am, right? And it's like, if this person was not, if they didn't show up to this moon party on the bridge, so to speak, to reference our tarot reading, then our ancestors did. And our ancestors sort of heard our prayer here. Does that make sense? So I don't know. I feel called to put that there with all the moons because I feel like this is sort of a side story here. So yeah, if your person didn't show up to the moon cry party, then your ancestors did and they heard you. Okay. Yeah. And so you're getting rewarded for this. I'm telling you, preparations come to fruition. Things manifested. Abundance is here. And now this is going right here in this quadrant. So it's like your sovereignty, your ability to sort of get over this in a certain sense. And, many of you, if you clicked on this video, are probably not over it, right? And I don't think this person is either. But you were able to set it aside long enough to say, where am I going? Where am I headed? If this person tells me no, if they have built that wall instead of a bridge, and the goal is still to build a bridge, okay, I don't know when. I know better on my spiritual path than to manifest someone. I don't want to be putting out love spells or any of that craziness. I just want what's meant for me. And until that happens, until I see that bridge being built, I will need to be focused somewhere. And you have decided that that focus is on your abundance, your manifestations, your 10 of Pentacles. And that's exactly right. And Spirit is the one who's been answering these prayers. You could have been praying for this specific person, and Spirit says, we will answer that call for you. If you don't hear it from another person that you are beautiful, you are protected, we will give that to you. Yeah, it's like Spirit is showing up as your divine masculine. Okay, what fell on the floor here? to go up into that spirit team messages is vanishing mirror and stranger. Okay, and I got this in one of our recent videos. When you look in the mirror, they want you to see God's source spirit and the love that spirit has for you, that your spirit team has for you. All of this strength of will, all of this ability to go ahead and take your wisdom and apply it, right? And so they want you to be very keen, very attentive on your mirror image, right? And I brought that up with this beauty card here. Yes, we want you to look in the mirror and think, oh, yes, I am beautiful. I love the look that I have. But we want you to also be very focused on how you view yourself energetically, right? You have this ability to reach into the depths of spirit itself and have it kind of like crawl up your arm, is what I'm getting with this, right? So, yes, we can be curious of other people. Yes, we can be curious of how other people see us, but that's not what's important. Some of you could be thinking, like, oh, how is it that I was not enough for this person? Maybe this person had someone else that was hotter, younger, and more steamy, right? Something like this. But spirit doesn't want you to look at it that way. This person sees you for your connection with spirit. Trust me, they do. They see you for these goals and this ability to transmute energy and this compassion that you have and your ability to move things along. And it's this bright golden light that you carry, that you have. And it's your mission. It is your mission that makes you so attractive. So spirit wants you to be focused. I just got chills all over my legs, just to let you know why it's my legs. I don't know, but that's where I got the chills. So something about walking, right? Something about moving forward. Chills are still here. So that's a yes, right? Because we got this advancement card, and this is your mindset. You are focused on this, but you also attribute this focus on moving forward to giving away your masculine, okay? So whether that's true or not, I feel like that is still to be determined. It is unknown whether this person is going to come back into your world. So in the now, we want you very focused on your self-image and understanding that you're made of magic and you are not um, going anywhere that's going to be upsetting or sad. Okay, we're not going to allow that to happen here. Yeah, we want you to, oh my God, there's the bridge. Oh, son of a biscuit. That's what my daughter says whenever something happens that's bad. She goes, oh, biscuits. But here's our little biscuits here. This was in the center of your tarot reading, and there it is again. But here's the thing. Okay, I used this reference in tarot, and it's the book that I read, like Star Wings of Light. Let me look it up because I mentioned it in the other reading. Okay, it's called Wings of Starlight. Okay, it's a Tinkerbell retelling of Queen Clarion and the King of the Winter Fairies, or the Lord of Winter. Okay, and in the story, there's a bridge, and summer is on this side, the light, and then we've got the dark, which was the winter, and they couldn't cross the bridge because the winter fairies' wings would break and melt, and then the summer fairies would freeze and crack. So they met on this bridge because they were in love with each other. And so that is a storyline that came through. So now it's like you are on the bridge, almost like waiting for this person. And while you're on the bridge and they did not show up, okay, now it's you and the universe. And at some point, you stopped looking at winter, so to speak, your person's side of the bridge, and you started to look up. It's like you got bored while waiting, looked up, and you found all of this love from spirit. You found the answer to the call from spirit. So whether or not this person still comes through or not, we don't know. They might come through with this hot and heavy King of Wands energy, which did come through in tarot. So if you haven't watched that first, then I will link it to play at the end of this video. It doesn't matter which order you find them, but it is interesting that we're finding so much synchronicity there. Okay, so let's go on to another deck here. Let's see what I want. Don't forget to like the video while I'm searching for a deck to find here. Yes, don't forget to like the video. I do see your comments and your likes and subscribes, so thank you guys so much for helping me grow. We're a pretty tiny little community as of so far, okay, but I'm here to tell my story and expand. So just write quickly on the bottom of this deck here before I put it away, intentionality. So again, it's like we are spending our time in that magician vibe, and we are getting intentional on what it is that we're focusing. So what I'm getting as well is this could have taken a lot of time, right? Like we sat on this bridge, we looked up and we said, okay, Spirit, what do you have for me? And they said, well, I've got this idea and that idea, and here's some things that you can do, some places that you can go. And you say, oh, that's actually a really good idea. Okay, I really like this plan. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and create the LLC and do this and do that. So it's like the intentionality became very hyper focused on your goals because this person didn't show up. And that's interesting because on this channel, I keep tapping into the fact that somebody wants credit for the success that you gained from that direction that you went once they did not show up. So make that make sense. Yes, you had all this compassionate, beautiful, straightforward energy that was streamlined into a person. Wow, interesting that I just pointed right to the curse with that. Interesting. Okay. But yes, you were focused heavily on this person. When they did not show up, you said, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and keep pointing in the direction that I feel called to. And now it's turning into all this success. And now this person is like, well, isn't it all my doing that gave you the energy and the heartfelt situation to do this? And you're kind of like, no, actually, you were not the inspiration for where I'm going. Are you the reason I turned that way? Yes, perhaps, but it's because you did not show up. Okay? Yeah, make peace with your past here. I really love the images on this deck, but that's what I'm getting because, yes, this did trigger some sort of abandonment wound here, inner child wound. And now I've also been tapping into this on the channel where it's like you have this goal and you have this idea of where you're going, right? And you're mapping out your goal to where you're headed, abundance wise, but your inner child still has abandonment wounds. So when it comes to being seen, when it comes to really posting, when it comes to really igniting that vision to come to life, these wounds come back up. So if anything, this person has actually been a hindrance to you even now, where your goals are solid, you know where you want to go, but you still have to transmute this energy even still. Okay, so, okay, we've got two here. We have cultivate love and reveal your gifts. Yeah, 5, 6. Yeah, it's like you're headed in the direction of your goals and your dreams. There's your crown, which we've seen already. It's like you had to crown yourself here and cultivate love with the divine instead of another human. And in doing so, it revealed your gifts. It revealed that you are capable of this transmutation. So from love, you cultivated your gifts to then give away this whole scenario and propel yourself forward here. But I love that this crowned energy is matching up here. Yeah, there's another be still. Be still and listen to the spirits. I know this is kind of a spooky vibe, but I like the spooky vibes. But this is a duplicate message there, so I'm going to go ahead and take that because there's this ideal here that you're perfecting your ability to be still and know. All right, so what do we have to say about these goals and our introspection here? Perfect acceptance. I'm telling you, this is going in the same position as this giveaway. Give away, trust the divine, see that we are beautiful anyways, trust the divine, and accept. This is divine acceptance that this person may or may not come forward. They may or may not ever come to the bridge. So this has been painful over the years, right? And again, it's like if this person was not listening to your, what is the word, telepathic sort of call, spirit is listening to that call. And look at that, embrace oneness with the divine, with the universe. So again, you're putting one step in front of the other, one foot in front of the other. It's like focus on doing the one next best thing. And you have the pride and the ability to do that because you had to take this look in the mirror and decide for yourself that you are worth it, not hear it from someone else, which was very difficult. Whatever you choose will be correct. Look at that. Interesting that it says vertigo on there. And vertigo for me is when you're staring at a computer for hours and hours and you start getting dizzy and you go to stand up and everything starts like, you know, moving around without your eyes moving, right? And then you start to get dizzy. Okay. But again, it says here, whatever you choose will be correct, and we're giving you the key. So whether this person shows up to the bridge or not, you're going to come right back to your goals, release again. Again, this is why we do the spiral, right? Because it's supposed to continue going. This is your divine way of manifesting here. And you are very focused on manifesting. And this situation here, if anything, it's awakening your ability to call judgment and bring in karmic law to turn this wheel forward and make the right choices, because you want to make the right choice here. So, yeah, we've got tangibility, make your dreams real. That's what you're focused on. Another 5. Lots of 5s here. Okay, so I want to see if we need to clarify anything else. See if I've got a tiny deck to clarify, and then we'll get some animals. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, so let's clarify here. What do we need to know about taking things more lightly when it comes to this shaman's death? Rest. Yeah, they're like, we said what we said. It's even purple, or I'm sorry, orange. It's all of this orange here of a standstill to rest deeply. And we've got the cat here, which is High Priestess energy. So it's about resting your intuitive mind as well. So I'm getting that some of you, and there's a lot of tarot readers on here that go into the twin flame journey, right? And they always talk about telepathic messages and, oh, here's a link to send your person a telepathic message, right? And like you could have done a little bit of that, but with that cat taking a nap, it's almost like we need to take a rest on that. We don't want to be focusing so much on one person that it looks like a love spell. All right. And we have listen. Some of you could have needed to hear that right now. Listen, and we've got this woman in a tower here. So it's like, yeah, the tower in the Lenormand is about building your empire. And so in order to do that, we need to listen to spirit and what spirit has for us. So listen to the divine and that divine intervention here. Okay, we also have study to know yourself. I feel like that's exactly what you've been doing here. Okay, it's like if that book was like your Akashic record book, your soul contract with this person, with yourself, your soul contract with your divine mission, that is what you've been focusing on. And there's that bridge as well with 2 birds in the center. The birds are about communication, and then we've got the tree in the center as well. It's very, very tiny, but we've got a tree and 2 birds on the bridge with 2 different towers. So it's like both of you are trying to build your own legacy, and you're down here doing this in an intuitive way. And now your focus is on the book, right? Akashic Records. I do teach Akashic Records. If that's something that you are interested in, then reach out to me. Check that description box for that. Also, if you're diving into a plan for a spiritual business of some kind, I do coaching on that as well. Yeah, we've got retreat here. Take things lightly. There's your empire up there in the clouds, and there's you taking a rest. Like, it's okay. It's going to be okay. And I feel like some of you could be judging how quickly you move, right? Because I was going to put this over here, and we've got this advancement, this abundance, and the spirit, when spirit reaches down with their hand, usually it's because we've asked for some sort of assistance here. So it's like, now that you're focused completely on this growth, now it's like, okay, am I going fast enough? It's like judging a marathon when really you should just be proud of the fact that you had the marathon or had the energy to take on the marathon in the first place. Okay, so right on top of reveal your gifts and this abundance here, we have seek counsel. And I was just talking about how I offer this spiritual business coaching, right? I was going to say practice, But some of you could be opening some sort of a practice, right? With healing, Reiki, perhaps reading cards on your own, something like that. So I do feel like it's a spiritual backed business, and it's okay to ask for some help, right? To get a one-on-one call with me or with someone else and just say, here's what it is I'm focused on. Here's what it is that I want to create. What do you think I should do? Yeah, and just be really kind to yourself here. Again, don't judge the speed at which you run the marathon. Judge the fact that you had the courage to do the marathon in the first place. And this is, I guess it is a different bird, but we have a couple different birds here. But again, this is about your mission. Be tender with yourself, take a rest, and then this is how I feel like you move. Okay, so it's like you have a standstill, you are peaceful, you rest, you take your time, right? Some of you could be projectors in human design. And then when you are ready to take off and you start taking action, it's like, whew. So spirit is like when you rest, you actually go faster. It's like you have these bursts of energy. We've been tapping into that on this channel too. Yeah, I have lots of videos that confirm this message. Okay, and then we've got risk and dare. See how that's a unicorn? It's like you're this magical unicorn here. And spirit wants you to take this at your own pace and go lightly on yourself. Okay, let's get into some animals, and then I'm going to get into Leo's reading. Every zodiac sign also has a playlist on this channel, so go ahead and check your placements. If you're more interested to hear about the twin flame, we tap into the connections there, and we also do more of these spiritual business type career readings, just like this one, but for your sign, it might be more specific to you. Oh, wow. The very first card we flipped over is fear with the shark. And you know, it's interesting because when I was tapping into sort of, I think it was Capricorn's reading, they had this very heartfelt, very sad story about two lovers being torn apart. And it felt as though you or whoever was sort of left behind or left on red or left on the bridge was in shark infested waters. So Capricorn's reading could be significant here, but also if we're going more towards the business side of things, the fear is running the show. And where this belongs is right here with that inner child and make the past your past. Okay. And then we have communicate here, a duplicate message with that storyteller. But also, like, if this person comes back, there's got to be a conversation here about the fact that you were trying to cultivate love with this person, and because of the things that happened, this is like that whole tarot mess. Okay. In tarot, we dove into this. If that's what you're into, go watch tarot. That we just recorded. But yes, you need to communicate. This is what happened. I felt like I was in shark infested waters. I gave you my heart. You gave it to someone else. I had to boss up and cast my net elsewhere. And in doing so, this is what happened. And then if you want to share all of that, then you can. But yeah, I ended up focusing on work. Boom. End of story. So, okay, what do we have to say about work then? Let's see what animals are assisting you at work. Finding joy in it. Yeah, we keep hearing that on this channel. Have more fun with it. Okay, it's meant to be fun. This is a manifestation game, right? And then take care of yourself. I'm telling you, it's a flow state. You're getting into a flow state here. We also, that's Cancer's sign. So you could benefit from Cancer's reading. Okay. And then we've got instinct here. Yeah, High Priestess energy. And that's knowing that regardless of whether or not this person comes to the bridge or not, come hell or high water, you're going to do what you need to do. And that's interesting that this came through right next to this sleeping cat. And this is a fox, I believe. So, yeah, that cunning, strategic mind of yours, paired with your intuitive, rested mind, is a force to be reckoned with. I mean, I tell you, you're going quickly enough. Okay. So I think some of you could be, again, you're judging how how well you're doing. And Spirit is like, okay, you are like 10 steps ahead of everyone else. It's like tortoise in the hare is what I'm getting. And you're the hare if the hare won. All right. You run, 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 sprint, take a rest. But then, unlike the traditional story, you got up, run, 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 take a rest, run, 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 take a rest. And it's like you've completed the race like 10 times. And you're over here like, I'm not doing enough because I need to rest sometimes. And Spirit is like, this isn't a sprint, okay? Like you've shown your direct strength here. And look at that. We've got strength with the moth on top, and then we have death, which is the moth. Look at that. It's like, and moth to me is like nighttime energy. We've got the universal figure eight here. It's like you want to be on all the time, through the night, up in the morning, through the day, up all night, through the night. And it's like, this is your energy. You're like, I have to go all the time. I have to, it's like almost like proving yourself here. And Spirit wants you to relax on that, okay? Again, it's something about how you see yourself with that mirror here. And we want you to look in the mirror. Yes, we think that you are beautiful, but we also want to see you to see your power. So it's strength, strength, go, go, go. Nighttime energy, take a rest. Death is about resting as well. And that's what we have in your future. Like, be okay with taking a break, picking it back up again, go for the gold, take a break. It's like this is where you learn the most about yourself, right? Because we had this one here. This is what I'm tapping into. Your union perhaps is up here. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. We don't see a lot of that in this read, okay? But while that's going on, you're focused on yourself and learning yourself with this beautiful balance here. Yeah. It's like you need to have this yin and yang. Now, what's interesting, they just called me to, I think it's the King of Cups that has the dolphins. This is in your tarot portion. So I will link that to play right after this video. Okay, I was in the wrong deck, but here we go. We found it. We've got the dolphins here on the King and Queen of Cups. So this balance here is where we began with this, and this is Libra. So Libra's reading could have significance to you, okay? So we've got the dolphins, which is life mana. You see this? And so it's like jumping out towards each other. And what I'm getting with this is it's like your cup produced this life mana, and it met with this counterpart's life mana, and then like rained down upon them. And you realized that they were just sort of taking this love energy from you, and that was the, I just heard counterfeit. That was the counterfeit. That was this issue of it all. Okay, so watch the tarot reading. But it's like now you're bringing balance. You're focusing now. See, and there's an issue with that because my throat is acting up weird when I said that. You do want to focus on this person. Okay, you do want your focus to be on them. But again, in the meantime, you're okay with focusing on yourself and your growth and your own shadow side. Does that make sense? Your own shadow work, because we have dark and light here. So you're okay with focusing on the fear and what this sort of relationship brought to the surface for you, and realizing that that has everything to do with your goals because of how you transmuted it into this new way of thinking and being empowered in yourself. Okay, but anyways, that was a lot to get these two cards to show you that there are dolphins here. Okay. Why that became important, I don't know. Maybe that will make sense to you. All right, my loves, I am going to go ahead and get started on Leo's reading. Go ahead and find your zodiac sign on the channel. Please don't forget to like the video. I will see you guys on the next one.